Hey everyone, today let us look into the history of Python, who invented, how Python was developed over time. Later we'll look into the basic concepts in Python and different kinds of data structures in Python and as well as the classes in Python. Okay, so Python was started in December 1989 by Guido van Rossum in Netherlands as a successor to ABC, capable of exception handling and interfacing with Amoeba operating system. Python 2 was released on October 16, 2000, and it had many new features such as cycle detecting garbage collector for memory management and support for Unicode. Python 3 was released on December 3, 2008, and it was backwards incompatible. Hey everyone, today we are going to learn about basics of Python. We'll be doing Python programming on command line. Open your terminal and type Python. I'm using Python 3.6.1 on my system. It can be different on different systems. In Python, we don't need to explicitly mention the data type of a variable. For example, if I say x is equal to 10, and if I check the type of x, it is int. If I say y is equal to hello, if I check the type of y, it is a string. Let us do some arithmetic operations in Python. I'm going to say x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20. If I say x, it's going to print 10. If I say y, it's going to print 20. X plus y is 30. X minus y is minus 10. X into y is 200. X divided by y is 0.5. Now let us see how strings work in Python. I'm going to say m is equal to hello, n is equal to word. If I say m plus n, it's hello world. We have lists in Python. Lists are similar to arrays in C++. Now let us declare an empty list. I'll say empty list is equal to if I say empty list, so we have an empty list with us. So now let us have a list of numbers from 1 to 5. I'm gonna name it as numList is equal to open square brackets 1 2 3 4 5. If I say numList, it's gonna give us 1 2 3 4 5. Indexing is similar to C++ in Python. If I say numList of 0, it gives me 1. If I say numList of 1, it's 2, right? One advantage of lists in Python is we don't need to have the values in the list to be of the same type. For example, I'm gonna declare another list, a generic list, and I can have an integer, a string, and a float. So if I say genList, it's gonna print me 1, hello, and 2.3. If you want to print hello, then the index of hello is 1. GenList of 1 will give me hello. In Python, we don't have flower braces to define the scope of a loop or a class or a function. Hence, indentation is very important in Python because indentations define the scope in Python. Now let us see how while loops work in Python. I'm gonna declare I as 10 and j as 0. The syntax for while is while. This is where we mention the condition, and I'm going to say while j is less than I, colon, enter, and we need to give a tab. A tab is equivalent to 4 or 8 spaces. Usually it is 4 spaces. So now I'm going to say print j tab j is equal to j plus 1. Enter. Since we are doing it on command line, we need to type enter 2 times for a loop to work. So now we got 0 to 9 on our screen. Let us see how for loops work in Python. So we have a list, num list here, and the values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now let us say for I in num list tab, that's the indentation, print I, enter, enter. So now it just printed all the values in the num list. If we want to have a different range, so we can say something like for j in range of 0 to, let's say, 10. That means it's going to pick numbers from 0 to 9. Enter, tab, print j. Enter, enter. So now we got a different set of numbers. Now let us see how we can generate random numbers in Python. We need to import random. We need to say import random. Now we can say something like random dot randint of. We can mention the range of numbers that we want our random number to be in. So for example, if I say 0, 100, I need to do print random dot randint of 0, 100. It's gonna print a random number in the range 0 to 99. So we got 87. If I say print random dot randint again, it's gonna give me 9. We'll do it again. It gave 89. So if you want to generate 10 random numbers, we can do it in a for loop. For example, for I in range of 0, 10, let us say print random dot randint of 0, 100. It means we are going to print random numbers in the range 0 to 99, and we are going to print 10 such numbers. Enter, enter. We got 10 numbers in the range of 0 to 100. Sorry, 0 to 99. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Payoj and I'm going to present data structures and classes in Python3. So let's start with data structures. So one of the commonest data structures used in Python3 is list. So these are some methods used in useful lists. There's append, extend, insert, remove, pop, etc. So what it does is it adds an item to the end of the list. Similarly, insert, if you give an item and the position or the index to be where the item has been inserted in the list, the insert method does that. Remove method just removes the first item from the list. So these are some methods used in lists, and let's use that. Let's see how to use that. So I'm starting my Python 3 on terminal. Now I'm defining my list A as shown. If I want to open an item, say, number 6 in the list, so I'll use a.append. If I want to use insert function, what I'll do, I'll just give the number and the position, the index. So if you want to see, if you see, the number 3 has been added in position 6. Yeah, and number 6 has been appended. Similarly, if we want to remove an item, we'll just give the number which we want to remove from the list. So we can see the number 2 has been removed from the list. So similarly, you can use pop. What pop will do is it will return a last item from the list and it will remove that item. As you can see, a.pop has written 3, and now and originally 3 was there in the last item in the list. Now 6 is the last item in the list. So similarly, you can use different other methods in the list as follows. One common use of list is stack. So the list method makes it very easy to use list of as a stack. So when the last element the last element is added is the first element retrieved, which is also known as last in first out. To add an element, we use the append method, and to retrieve an item from the top of the stack and remove it, we use pop item. So let's see how to use a stack. How to use list as a stack. So let me define a list name stack as follows. Now, if I want to insert an element, I'll just use stack.append. So if I print a stack, you can see that 6 has been added at the end of the list, which is also called the top of the stack. And if I just want to pop from the top of the stack, you will see 6 having returned, and now stack just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number 6 has been removed from the stack. So this is how you can use list as stacks. Now, if you want to use list as queue, so list can also be used as queues, but they're not very efficient to implement because inserting and popping from the end of the list is slow. So what we do is we use collection.tq in Python 3 to use this as queue because it has been designed in Python 3 to have faster appends and pops from both ends of this. So in Python 3, so let me define so I've imported dq from collections here, and let me define a queue which contains a list of names, say Eric, John, and Michael. So here I have actually defined my queue. Now let's say let's say I have to enter a name. So I'll just use queue.append and the name, say Terry. Now if I see my queue, it's dq Eric, John, Michael, and Terry. Terry has been added the last of the list at the end of the list. Now if I use queue.pop left, so pop left is a method in queue which actually gives which actually returns the first element in the list, the element which is first. So Eric was the first element in the list queue. Similarly, if I do so this is how you can use list as queues. Now if I want to use, now let's move on to different data structures called tuples. So what are tuples? Tuples it consists of a number of values separated by const. For example, here it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 4, 5, 4, hello. So output tuple are always include parentheses. As you can see here, that they're always enclosed in parentheses, which helps in interpretation for nested tuples. So what are the differences between tuples and lists? So first of all, tuples are immutable, and they usually contain heterogeneous sequence of elements, and these elements are actually accessed through indexing. So if you want to access hello in tuple T, you just use the index for 2. In list, so the lists are mutable, and they usually contain homogeneous elements which are accessed by iterating over the list. So let's say if I say tuple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hello, and if I type T, it says class tuple. Now if I want to access hello, so I'll just give the index of the element I want to access. So it returns hello. Similarly, if I want to access 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll give the index 0. So this is how you access the elements in tuples. Whereas in lists, you actually iterate over the list to get element. Alright, so the next data structure sets. sets are unordered collections with duplicate elements. So you can create a set by using curly brackets or just use set function. Note that and note that just using curly brackets means it's in a dictionary and not a set. What I'm trying to say is, if you define A equals to this, here it will not be a set. The type of A will be a dictionary. If you want to set an empty set, you'll use this function for that variable, and you. So here I've given here the type of set. Data type of A is set. Then yeah, so and also sets actually support mathematical operations like union, intersections, differences, which we'll see later. Now let's come to another data type called dictionary. So Python3 has built-in data type. In other languages, dictionary can be referred to as associated arrays. So as sets are unordered collection of elements, dictionary are unordered collection of key values. Here, keys are immutable and can be of any data type, and tuples can also be used as keys only if tuples contains string numbers or tuples itself, which are immutable. So if we move forward, you can see, all right. So there are different methods used in dictionaries. So to create a dictionary, we use dictionary function dict and open bracket, close brackets. And to get the list of keys, we use this method. And to get a list of keys and a sorted list of all keys in a dictionary, we use the function sorted. And to access the value of a particular key in a dictionary, we use dkey value function. So let's define dictionary. So let's say I'm defining dictionary as 1 as apple, 2 as banana, right? So if I the type of data type of D, it will return dictionary. Now if I want to access apple, what I do is I'll enter the key, and it will return me the value of that key. Similarly, if I use list d.keys here, it will return the list of all the keys present in the dictionary. And if I use list sorted, if I use sorted d.keys, it will return me a sorted list of all the keys present in the dictionary. And if I want to delete a key value pair in the dictionary, I'll use the delete function and the key I want to delete. So I'll use delete d, and suppose I want to delete the key. So now if you can see that D just contains one key value pair named 1 apple. So this is how you access dictionary. Alright, so now let's move. So these are some of the data structures in Python3 that you can use, and methods in those data structures that helps you using various methods, various operations in Python. Now let's move to classes and how to find classes in Python3. So classes probably means of bundling data and functionality together. So creating a new class creates a new data type of object, which allows new instances of that type to be made. So in Python3, class mechanism is a mixture found in C++ and Modular 3. And the class definition syntax is similar as in different languages like Java. You define a name, you give a name to the class, and in that class you just give some statements. So class definition is just like functions, which must be executed before they have an effect. So if you look at the class objects, so class objects suppose two kinds of operation. One is attribute references and another is instantiation. And attribute references uses standard syntax, which is like object.name. And class instantiation uses function notation like my class, open brackets, close brackets. So let's see, let's define a class, say class my class. Okay. Alright, so alright, and let me define variable name I1234 and function name function xf or function f, which actually prints since it's Python3, I have to return in a bracket hello world. So this is how I have defined my class. Now if I have to instantiate the class, I have to use this as my instantiation. So to instantiate a class, I'll just use the class name and the open brackets and close brackets. So So here, this creates a new instance of class and assigns this object to the local variable x. So if I do my class dot I, it will return the value of I, which is in the class my class. And if I do my class dot f function, it will print hello, which is in the function f. So this is some introduction about classes and data structures in Python 3. Hope you like.